It is 6 months before the children are born. Mallory is showing. Blankets cover every window in the house. The front door is never left unlocked and never left open. Reports of unexplainable events have been surfacing with an alarming frequency. What was once breaking news twice a week now develops every day. Government officials are interviewed on television. Stories from as far east as Maine, as far south as Florida, have both sisters now taking precautions. Shannon, who visits dozens of blogs daily, fears a mishmash of ideas, a little bit of everything she reads. Mallory doesn't know what to believe. News stories appear hourly online. It's the only thing anybody talks about on social media, and it's the only topic on the news pages. New websites are devoted entirely to the evolution of information on the subject. One site features only a global map, with small red faces placed upon the cities in which something occurred. Last time Mallory checked, there were more than 300 faces. Online, they are calling it the problem. There exists the widespread communal belief that whatever the problem is, it definitely begins when a person sees something. Mallory resisted believing it as long as she could. The sisters argued constantly, Mallory citing the pages that derided mass hysteria, Shannon citing everything else. But soon Mallory had to relent when the pages she frequented began to run stories about their own loved ones, and the authors of these blogs stepped forward to admit some concern. Cracks, Mallory thought then, showing even in the skeptics. Days passed in which Mallory experienced a sort of double life. Neither sister left the house anymore. Both made sure the windows were covered. They watched CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News until they physically couldn't watch the same stories repeating themselves. And while Shannon grew more serious and even grave, Mallory held on to a pinch of hope that this would all simply go away. But it didn't. And it got worse. 3 months into living like shut-ins, Mallory and Shannon's worst fears came true when their parents stopped answering their phone. They didn't answer emails, either. Mallory wanted to drive north to the Upper Peninsula, but Shannon refused. "We're just going to have to hope they're being safe, Mallory. We're going to have to hope their phone was shut off. Driving anywhere right now would be dumb. Even to the store, and driving 9 hours would be suicide." The problem always resulted in suicide. Fox News had reported the word so often that they were now using synonyms. Self-destruction, self-immolation, harikari. One anchorman described it as personal erasing, a phrase that did not catch on. Instructions from the government were reprinted on the screen. A national curfew was mandated. People were advised to lock their doors, cover their windows, and, above all, not to look outside. On the radio, music was replaced entirely with discussions. A blackout, Mallory thinks. The world, the outdoors, is being shut down. Nobody has answers. Nobody knows what is going on. People are seeing something that drives them to hurt others, to hurt themselves. People are dying. But why? Mallory tries to calm down by focusing on the child growing inside her. She seems to be encountering every symptom mentioned in her baby book, with child, slight bleeding, tender breasts, fatigue. Shannon points out Mallory's mood swings, but it's the cravings that are driving her crazy. Too afraid to drive to the store, the sisters are stuck with the items they stockpiled shortly after purchasing the pregnancy test. But Mallory's tastes have changed. Standard foods disgust her, so she combines things: orange brownies, chicken with cocktail sauce, raw fish on toast. She dreams of ice cream, often looking toward the front door. She thinks of how easy it would be to get behind the wheel of the car and drive to the store. She knows it would take only 15 minutes. But every time she leans toward doing it, the television delivers another harrowing story. And besides, who knows if the employees show up to the stores anymore? "What do you think people are seeing?" Mallory asks Shannon. "I don't know, Mal. I just don't know." The sisters ask each other this question constantly. It'd be impossible to count the number of theories that have been birthed online. All of them scare the hell out of Mallory. Mental illness as a result of the radio waves in wireless technology is one. An erroneous evolutionary leap in humankind is another. New Agers say it's a matter of humanity being in touch with a planet that is close to exploding, or a sun that is dying. Some people believe there are creatures out there. The government is saying nothing except lock your doors. Mallory, alone, sits on the couch. slowly rubbing her belly, watching television. She worries that there is nothing positive to watch, that the baby feels her anxiety. When child told her this would happen, the baby will experience the mother's emotions. Still, she can't look away from the screen. On a desk against the wall behind her, the computer is open and on. The radio plays softly. Together, it makes Mallory feel like she's in a war room, at the center of it all, while everything is falling apart. It's overwhelming, and it's becoming terrifying. There are no commercials anymore, and the newscasters pause for periods of time, shamelessly revealing their surprise as they receive updates on air. Above this buzzing din of media, Mallory hears Shannon moving on the second floor. Then, as Gabriel Towns, one of CNN's primary anchors, silently reads a sheet of paper just handed to him, Mallory hears a thud from above. She pauses. "Shannon," she calls, "are you all right?" Gabriel Towns doesn't look good. He's been on television a lot lately. CNN let it be known that many of their reporters have stopped coming into the station. Towns has been sleeping there. "We'll go through this together," is his new slogan. His hair is no longer perfect. He wears little makeup. More jarring is the exhausted way in which he delivers the news. He looks sunken. "Shannon, come down here." It looks like Towns just got an update. But there is no response. There is only silence from upstairs. Mallory rises and turns down the television. "Shannon." Quietly, Gabriel Towns is discussing a beheading in Toledo. It's less than 80 miles from where Mallory watches. "Shannon, what are you doing up there?" There is no answer. Towns speaks quietly on the television. There are no accompanying graphics, no music, no inserts. Mallory, standing in the center of the room, is looking toward the ceiling. She turns the volume of the television even lower, then turns the radio off, then walks toward the stairs. At the railing, she slowly looks up to the carpeted landing. The lights are off, but a thin ray of what looks like sunshine sprays upon the wall. Placing her hand on the wood, Mallory steps onto the carpet. She looks over her shoulder, to the front door, and imagines an amalgamation of every report she's heard. She takes the stairs. Shannon. She is at the top now, trembling. Stepping down the hall, she sees sunlight coming from Shannon's bedroom. Slowly, she comes to the open door and looks inside. A corner of the window is exposed. A part of the blanket, having come loose, hangs. Mallory quickly looks away. There is a stillness and a faint hum from the television below. Shannon. Down the hall, the bathroom door is open. The light is on. Mallory walks toward it. Once there, she holds her breath, then turns to look. Shannon is on the floor, facing the ceiling. A pair of scissors sticks out of her chest. Blood surrounds her, pooling into the tiles on the floor. It seems like more blood than her body could hold. Mallory screams, clutching the door frame, and slides to the ground, wailing. The harsh light of the bathroom exposes every detail. The stillness of her sister's eyes. The way Shannon's shirt sinks into her chest with the scissor blades. Mallory crawls to the bathtub and throws up. Her sister's blood sticks to her. She tries to wake Shannon, but she knows this will not happen. Mallory stands, speaking to Shannon, telling her she's going to get help. Wiping blood from her hands, Mallory rushes downstairs and finds her phone on the couch. She calls the police. No answer. She calls again. No answer. Then she calls her parents. Still, no answer. She turns and runs to the front door. She must get help. Her hand clutches the doorknob, but she finds she cannot turn it. Dear God, Mallory thinks. Shannon would never do this willingly. Dear God, it's true. Something is out there. And whatever Shannon saw, it must be close to the house. A piece of wood is all that separates her from what killed her sister. What her sister saw. Beyond the wood she hears wind. There are no other sounds. No cars. No neighbors. Only stillness. She is alone. Suddenly, agonizingly, she understands that she needs someone. She needs safety. She has to figure out how to leave this house. The image of Shannon blazing in her mind. Mallory rushes into the kitchen. There, under the sink, she pulls forth a stack of newspapers. She manically rifles through them. Breathing hard, her eyes wide, she checks the back of each one. Finally, she finds it. The classified River Bridge. Strangers inviting strangers into their home. Mallory reads it again. Then she reads it another time. She falls to her knees, clutching the paper. River Bridge is 20 minutes away. Shannon saw something outside, and it killed her. Mallory must get herself and her child to safety. Suddenly, her heavy breathing gives way to an endless flow of hot tears. She does not know what to do. She has never been this afraid. Everything within her feels hot, like she is burning. She cries loudly. Through wet eyes, she reads the ad again, and her tears fall upon the paper.